Welcome back, everyone. This is Jeff. Got Mark over here. Hey, this is day 2 of the 355 service. So we're going to start in the back of the car on top. We're going to remove the exhaust. I know there's other people that do this different ways, but this makes more sense for what we're doing. We're going to go ahead and remove this front piece here and then muffler. It just makes more room. I know a lot of people don't remove all this stuff, but it just makes it easier on doing other things in the future, on things we may be doing on this car. So we're going to go ahead and remove these bolts up here in front, the 2 back here,
valve too,
and then the 2 back there. We're going to take the valve out, and then we'll probably raise the car up and work from below. But that's where we're going to start right now. All right, so we've got this wide pipe, or whatever you want to call it, out of here. It's just sitting down here, but it won't come out. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the bolts loose. There's one here on both sides. We're going to take those loose. There's other ways you can do that. You can take the bracket loose. There's 2 bolts down there if you want to do it that way. And then there's another way. There's a pin here you could take out with a cotter pin. It's just multiple ways you can take that apart. So we're going to take the 2 bolts here on this side and the same.
And also, we should probably take them sanitary clamp ones off first. On the bottom of the
okay.
yeah.
And then we're into clamps on the bottom. You got the clamps on the bottom yet. So we may take those off first. All right, so we've got the car in the air right now. We're going to go ahead and take the exhaust off right here on both sides. This may look a little bit different because he's got aftermarket cats on here. But there still should be clamps in that area. So we're going to take the clamps off first in this area. All right, so we've got the clamps on the bottom loose. So we're going to lower the car back down and take the upper mounts loose, and the exhaust should be free. Like I said before, we're going to take the bolts out here on both sides, and then that should just come right out. You might have to feed your thermocouple through here because it's on a clamp over here. Yours may or may not go through this clamp, so that's got to be either taken loose here or the clamp taken loose.
It's actually already loose here.
All right, so it's already loose.
Yeah, it was loose.
All right. We've got the muffler removed. As you can see, there's a lot more work, or clearances and stuff are greater. We can see a lot more things that are going on. So when we're dropping it down, we got better views of everything. Just make sure your harnesses are in the right spots, and they're not catching on the framework. We've got everything cleared here. So make sure these are loose also. Make sure that you have your 2 connectors here removed. And then all your thermocouples are removed. There's 2 thermocouples that go over here to the side. Make sure they're removed. They actually connect to the back of here. So those have to be removed. From there, like I said, they're all hanging right here. So eventually this bolt here is going to come out. And there's one vertical that's got to come out over there. But that's a little bit later down the road. We're going to go ahead and raise the car up and start disconnecting a few other things like the oil tank, the oil lines. There's a couple other, like the brake lines need to be disconnected. The parking brake needs to be disconnected yet. But we're going to go ahead and raise the car and start doing some of that. And then don't forget your harnesses have to come through the firewall. Your cabling for your ECUs for the engine harness and that have to come through the firewall. So we'll show you all that yet. All right, so there's a few things we're going to disconnect under the car here. This is on the driver's side. We've got this probe here for the oil tank. That has to come off. That just slides right off. There is a ground wire up here. You can see it right there next to the alternator. That on the frame, that has to come off. And that will stay with the car, I believe. These oil lines on the oil cooler here need to come loose there. And then we're going to probably take this one loose too. Your lines for your AC compressor need to come loose. So those need to come out, and you need to deplete the system first. So we've already done that. And then your parking brake here, this all has to come loose right here. That's pretty easy. This basically what you do here is just take the spring off, back these nuts out. This cover slides back. The cable will come around here, and then that will disconnect there, and then you can feed this cable through here. There's a hydraulic lines here that need to come loose. Those two need to come loose on that block right there. This is all on the driver's side. Same thing on the passenger side. This line right here has to come loose. This is a brake line. That needs to be disconnected. So, and then we'll look it over here, make sure we're not missing anything. I can't think of anything on except for the harness. Like I said, the harness for your engine ECU is inside the cabin, so you'll have to feed that through. That'll have to come loose. We'll have to do some work inside the cabin to get that disconnected, but we'll show you that when we get there. And then we're going to drain the oil right now, so that's the first thing we're going to do is drain the oil. So Mark, right now we're just draining the engine oil.
Watch yourself.
So that's what we're doing, and like I said, we're going to move on to those other items I described earlier.
Look at that.
All right, we're taking this parking brake apart. We took the spring off. We took a pair of pliers and
It goes
moved it
right
out of the
through
way.
that hole right there.
Yeah, it goes through this hole, and then you just take these double nuts, back them loose. They're at 13. That's probably good enough, Mark.
Yep. Okay.
Or do the other one
Yeah,
too.
yeah. We'll have to get this all the way out, though. It has to pull through, so that has to come out, too. Both got to come out. Okay. Okay, that comes out of here now. This got to come out of here.
Yeah, that actually pulls this straight back. And then this thing
Is there a
here.
clip on that?
No, I don't think there is. And then this thing slides forward or back here, and then it exposes that cable. Or this thing here comes off.
Yeah, do we need to take it off?
Let's see here.
This time, I think it comes with the car.
It comes with the car. Okay.
Okay, I have to take this off here. That's an 8.
So what you need to do to get this cable out of here, there's a bracket back here that has a number 10 on it.
Right.
Take it loose, and that'll free this cable up enough to where you get enough slack and just pull it through the hole here. So, yeah, just take that nut off there, and the whole thing should pull aft, and then you're good. So these are all free. Like I said, the brake line's over here, the clutch line on this side, it's got to be done.
And there's one on the other side.
And one on the other side. Mark is loosening the brake and the clutch line on this side. One is a 10 on the bottom and 13 on the top. All right, and you want to disconnect the forward end of it, because that's going to stay with the car. The block and everything's going to come with the engine. All right, so the block and the lines after that is going to stay with the motor. All right, so yeah, you want to pull those out and kind of watch those when we drop the motor, okay? The passenger side, the brake line, as you can see, Mark's working it again. This you want to pull down towards you. The other side you want it to push up, but like I said, the forward side of the block you want to disconnect. The block is going to stay with the motor. So
Turn it a little bit.
All right, so we've disconnected the lower line on your radiator there, and the bigger nut there,
Which is part of this hose.
yeah, which is part of the hose we disconnected earlier. We loosened that one also. So we're getting ready to drop the car back down. We're letting this drain. All right, we've got the lower radiator hose off. We've got the line on the oil tank here off. As you can see, the that goes to the bottom of the oil pan.
I think we're going to take this off now.
We're going to go ahead and we got to disconnect this line right here also. And then we got to take this bolt up here off, and then one on top, and then we'll have to disconnect. I'm not sure if we have to disconnect. We may not have to disconnect these because the oil tank should come with the motor.
Yeah.
All right. So definitely the bolt there and that line yet down here. All right. So we've disconnected that line on the tank and that bolt up there on the tank. This bolt right here, that's removed. That line's removed. This line here is removed. Your line on the bottom of the tank is removed. So got your brake line removed over there. There's a connector underneath there that goes to the radiator. It's been removed. Don't know of anything else in this area that needs to be removed at this time. So we're going to go ahead and put the car down and go from the top. So we're on the top here again. Mark is taking the upper bolt there free for the tank, the oil tank. So right there, as you can see, that's the bolt he's removing for the oil tank. That has to come out. All right, so the next thing we're going to do, I mean, this is not a recommendation. This is what we're going to do. You can do this if you want. You don't have to. We're going to go ahead and make this a lot easier. His struts are kind of bad. So we've got this stick here. Don't like really using it. It may damage the car. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the 4 bolts out of here. 2 on this side, 2 over there, and then remove this from the car. And actually to give us better view to the front of the motor so we can watch, make sure everything's disconnected. So that's what we're going to do right now. And it looks like those are 10s, I believe. Front here, we've got a couple things that need to be disconnected. So you've got your high power steering pump here, or reservoir. There's the line on the right here. That needs to come off because it goes up towards the front of the car here. That fuel line right there. There's a fuel line right there, that gold line I'm pointing to. That's got to come loose. There's another hose right here. It's hard to see. Let me get a flashlight. Flashlight.
Where's the flashlight? Is that there? The other thing. Put me down. This one.
Yeah, it goes that way, like you have. Okay, so this small hose here, it's kind of like an S shape. Needs to come loose.
Okay, that's gonna hold that one.
And then you still have to, like I said, feed the ECU harness through. All right, so we've got, actually I thought that was a fuel line. That's actually a power steering pump line, the metal one there. So we've got that disconnected. We're actually going to pull the thermostat housing off here. There's 3 bolts or 10s. And then we'll take this hose off here. This is all loose. And then that'll expose, there's an S hose down here. That will expose that hose so we can get access to it. So that's where we're going with this. All right, so we've got the thermostat out of the way. Mark is taking loose the S hose, you can see here. That's what he's doing right now.
Yeah, put your finger on that socket. So yeah, there it is. Oops, I lost it.
So what you need to do here is you need to remove this panel, and then there's got 2 screws that hold the panel on, and then take the harnesses off,
This one's
and then you probably have to take the ECU out also to get the bottom harness to release. So there's what, 4 connectors there?
Yep.
4 connectors, and then you have to feed all that through there. So be careful when you're.
Little hole too.
Yeah, the hole's not very big, but there's the ECU up there. Hardware and everything. So what we're going to have to do is, like I said, when you start raising the car, you're going to have to feed that through there and be very careful because you'll rip the harness loose if you're not careful, and then you're going to have a bad day.
Boy, it looks dirty.
All right, so we've got the car situated here. I don't know if you guys ever use a 4-post. We've done this several times. You have to roll the car off past enough to where the subframe just clears the lift. And then we have it supported on framework. Be sure you've got it supported on the framework, because if you put it on the wrong panel, you'll crush it. So we got a puck in there. It's sitting on pucks on both sides. So we rolled the car back onto these spacers, or whatever you want to call them, ramps. They were about the same level as the lift, and then we supported it here, like I said, this on this side. So you're just going to make sure when you're doing this that the front end's going to be stable enough, so it's not going to want to come off the lift. I know the wheels seem like they're light now, but it is pretty stable. Right, we're starting to take the bolts out. We've got the car supported in the back here. We got a hydraulic lift on it. We've got boards here on the framework. As you can see, trying to rest on the framework, not so much on the engine case. So Mark is taking the 6 bolts out front.
They're coming out nice.
And yeah, if you start to take those out and they have a lot of friction or they're hard to move, stop what you're doing and see what's the problem, because they should come out fairly easy. Same thing with back here. We've got this bolt here, this vertical bolt right here. This will be the same on both sides. Okay, like here, and the one up here, right here. So we'll start taking those out, and like I said, there's 6 on each side up front, and the car's sitting nice. All right, we're starting to remove our bolts. We got our bolts up front. Don't forget to remove your 2 bolts up here. So you'll have to remove the upper fender liner at this point. So you got bolt here, bolt there, same on the other side. All right. So we're lowering the car a little bit. We're checking certain things, like we got our brake lines here. They're clear. We got the Freon lines. They're clear. Fuel lines. We still have a bolt here. It's almost clear. You can see the frame is cleared here. Like I said, don't forget to take these out or it won't drop. Make sure all your harnesses and that are clear. And then we're going to start.
The hose came off there, right? Or we took that off with the. Where's the other hose?
The hose is underneath. I'll go look at it. Make it a ladder. Make sure all your harnesses back here, and then the engine ECU harnesses. We're going to go ahead and check that next and start feeding that through. So we're going to proceed on. All right, we're lowering the car here. Don't forget your ABS sensor. That's right here.
One on each side.
One on each side. So don't forget to do that. And we're going to continue to drop this. We're watching the clearances all around. Make sure all your harnesses are coming. We're starting to feed the engine ECU harness in from the inside. So we're checking all these lines up here. Make sure they're all clear. And continue on. So we're going to keep on dropping this. I'm sorry I can't film it at the same time. It's just there's 2 of us, and it takes both of us to drop the motor.
And watch stuff.
Yeah, and watch stuff. So anyway, we're going to continue on. All right, so we've got the motor down on our stand. As far as we go, we're going to end up raising the car up with the lift. We pulled our harness through. That's all back out by the engine compartment now. So we're clear there. All our lines up front here look like they were clear. So let's see here. Our coolant lines are free. Our AC lines on the other side are free. Fuel lines are clear. All our harnesses in the back are clear.
Refrigerator lines, brake lines, clutch lines, all over.
Yeah, brake lines on the sides. Both sides are clear. Check those. Make sure they're not binding up.
Yeah, this is low.
And like I said, it looks like it's going pretty good. So we're going to go ahead and raise the car up now. Like I said, our stand that the motor's on is as far down as we can go. So we're going to go ahead and raise the car up now. Like I said, when you're doing this, make sure you have the car shored up properly. That's the last thing you want to do is get this thing upset and off your lift. So anyway, that's what we're going to do right now. We're going to go up slowly.
Okay, ready?
Yep.
Tell me, I'm going to start. Ready?
Yeah.
Look all right?
Keep moving a little bit more. Hold on, Mark. I think this stand with the motor on it kind of rolled forward.
Oh, we should probably lock the wheels.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and do that first here.
You want to
All
lock?
right, going up.
All right.
Everything's looking good so far. Yeah, I don't see anything.
Good?
Yeah, let me walk on this other side here, but I think we're clear. Yeah.
I'll put on the lock, but make sure we're all good.
Yeah, why don't we go ahead and do that?
All right, we're ready to roll.
And then roll up a little higher, then we'll roll the motor out of there, and then we'll set it back down to proper limit.
One more?
Yeah, one more.
Ready?
Yep.
I don't want to go too high.
All right. So, everyone, we've got the car short up here. We've got these blocks in here with a puck. Make sure if you do this, make sure it's on the structure here and not on these false panels, because you'll buckle them and the car will collapse on you. Both sides. Make sure you have the front wheels locked also or chalked, because you're not going to have a parking breaker at all.
You know we can strap these if we.
Yeah, I mean if you're afraid, yeah, we can put a strap around your lift also.
It looks good here.
But it's pretty secure right now, and like I said, we've got a lot of the weight off the car right now, and then we're going to lower, once we move the motor out of the way, we're going to lower it back down on the ground anyway. So we're going to clear some stuff out and move this out of the way. The motor rolled out over there. We've got the car set down a little bit here. We're kind of doing a little inspection in this area. This is where you bring the harness through for your ECU. Like I said, make sure all your lines are good here. So all this stuff looks pretty decent.
The leaf doesn't come.
Yeah. So looks like we didn't damage anything lowering it.
No. I think we did pretty good.
So anyway, we're going to go ahead and lower it back down all the way, just so it, in case something happens, yeah, it doesn't fall too far. But yeah, we're going to lower it all the way to the ground at this point.
Okay. I'm going to move it up.
Yep, go up.
Look good, all right?
Yeah, it's good, looking good. Everything's clearing. All right, that's it, man. All right, well, we did it. We got it out. We've got a lot of work yet ahead of us. We're going to check the headers on this. We'll have to take those off. Obviously doing the belts. Like I said, all the parts are from Fur Parts. They're right there. We'll check out some few things, but this is probably going to conclude today's video of day 2. So I don't think we damaged anything, which is a good day. And
Come on, we never damaged anything.
hopefully it all goes smoothly. But anyway, I'll check you out later, and hopefully you watch and like and subscribe, and check you out for video 3 coming up.